Welcome to my kitchen. Now, with everything that's going on at the moment, I thought I would do a super duper budget friendly cook with me. Now, a lot of people know that I like to do everything as cheap as possible. So between cooking and shopping, and yeah, basically everything in my house. So I'm going to run you through my week's worth of food that I do in regards to lunches and dinners. Usually my dinners roll over into lunch the next day. So like last night I did burritos. With my burritos, what I do is I actually bulk the mince up with either lentils if I can get them. At the moment that's super hard because everyone seems to be buying all of the tin food, or I use rice. Even that itself, rice is a bit hard to get, but I had some on hand, so I did a big bowl of rice. With my rice, I actually fry up some brown onion in coconut oil in the pan, and then once that's heated up, I add hot water, boil the water and the rice with the brown onion and coconut oil. I just find it prevents the rice from getting sticky, but it also adds extra flavour. And with the current situation that's going on, the coconut oil is extremely nutritional. It's great healthy fats. So if you're finding that your shop has limited you to not have enough fat in your diet, adding coconut oil is a great way of adding a little bit more fat. Now, I'm just going to disclose that I am not a nutritionist. I don't have any study behind me. I'm just a mum who always wants to make sure that my child is getting the best value in his meals as possible. Alright, well I'm just going to take you through my very small collection of items that I have purchased for the week. Okay, so as you can see, some of the things that I already have. So I already have plain flour and wholesome blend flour. Now Wholesome using flour, she's a legend, Baby Q. We managed to get our hands on sugar, winning. Then I already had some LSA mix in the cupboard. I love this stuff, especially because I'm breastfeeding. So the linseed is really, really good for breastfeeding. Dates, honey, coconut oil, of course. I will show you what we're doing with the soup very, very soon. Potatoes, cucumber, mushrooms. Sorry if you're vegetarian or vegan, but blade steak, chicken, mince, onion, pumpkin, and that is baking soda. Okay, so that is everything that I'm going to be making, and eggs, but that I'll be making this week's meals with, lunch and dinner. So let's get on to the first recipe for tonight's dinner. Okay, so for this recipe, all you need is 3 cups of self-raising flour and a 420, this is 430, can or sachet of pumpkin soup. I could only get my hands on spicy pumpkin soup, so it's going to taste a little bit different this time. But with the shops how they are at the moment, you just deal with what you can. I also would normally get home brand self-raising flour, not White Wings, because you can get a big one for a lot cheaper than White Wings. But again, this recipe is super yummy and cheap, seeing as it's only those 2 ingredients, nothing else. So I'm just going to show you how I cook them. Well, make them, then cook them. It's very easy, very simple to do, and super scrumptious, super cheap. So with my mixer, I've got the Kenwood. I have the dough mixer on it. Okay, so you just knead it for a bit, and then I will put it in a metal bowl with a washcloth over the top of it, just to help the self-raising flour sort of, you know, puffing it up. So come time to actually bake it for dinner, it will be a nice fluffy dough. And that's it until dinner time. So there you have it. It's in the bowl, ready for it to do its bang. Okay, little side note, how cute is this little apron? I love it. I got it from Vinnie's. I think it was like $1. I was like, oh, I need it. So with the rice, I actually do a big batch of it at the beginning of the week, and then just portion it out, and it's almost like microwave rice, but just cheaper, easier. I put them into little containers and put it in the fridge, and they keep just fine. Also, so this is the burrito mince that we had last night. As you can see, it's mixed with rice. So what I do with the burrito mince is I use taco seasoning, tinned tomatoes, turkey mince, fry it all up, and then mix through the pre-cooked rice. So it ends up being a super cheap way of feeding a family. It would serve about 6 people. I do it that way, so then there is extras for lunch the next day. Okay, so for dinner I'm doing beef stroganoff tonight. Now I'm actually cheating, and I'm using this seasoning packet from Aldi. It is 99 cents, so very affordable. And instead of doing sour cream, I'm just doing milk. There was no sour cream, and also sour cream wouldn't have fit it in the budget, because I try and keep the shop to around $60 a week. But with the prices going up at the moment, the shop ended up being $100 because I had to get meat from the butcher. So yes, I'm just going to cut up this onion. I'm not going to film that part because I always cry. If you have a way of making sure you don't cry when cutting up onions, leave it in the comments because I need to know. I've tried those dorky goggles, I've tried sticking my tongue out, I've tried having wet hands, and none of that has worked for me. So yeah, it looks dirty, but it's not. It's just the pan. So I use one of these big circular, I don't even know what it's called, pan, because you can fry in it, you can boil things in it, and whatnot. So I just turned the burner onto a small heat, okay, and then I just get a dollop of the coconut oil. I use the extra virgin. Yeah, this is hard doing one-handed, in case you're like, what is she doing? Smack that in there. Let it heat up. Okay, now that the coconut oil is pretty much melted, well, not pretty much, it is, I just add in my onion and just stir that around until it's golden brown. Also, in case you're wondering how I usually cook with my baba, so with our meat, all we could get our hands on this week because of the pandemic is this stuff. I usually get like a whole rump piece, but flayed steak it's going to have to be. You win some, you lose some. I guess I should just be thankful that we actually got our hands on some meat. With the current situation that the supermarkets are dealing with. So there was 820 grams within that bag. So I'm going to remove one and only use one. Seeing as there's only 2 adults and a toddler, I don't need that much meat for the stroganoff, especially with how I try to pack a little bit more of the other things in there just to make it a bit bulkier without having to use too much meat at the moment, as that more meat means more expensive. So I'll show you what I do to try and bulk it up without using too much meat. Okay, so yeah, that's in there now. I'm just going to cook the beef and then add the rest. So I've added corn, mushroom, sauce, milk. That is everything, so it bulks it up. And yeah, I've added about a cup of milk, a cup of corn, and 5 large size mushrooms, and that's it. And then it just cooks for about 10 minutes. Okay, so I rolled them out, I cut them into shape, and I put the oven on at 200, and I'm about to put them in, let them cook, and they should hopefully be fluffy. Sometimes they are flat, but they taste good either way. I don't cook all the dough in one hit, so that's what the dough that we have left. I'm going to put it in the freezer. It freezes just fine, and then I have more pumpkin scones for another time that we do a dinner that we like them with. Alright guys, so this is going to be a 2-part video. The first part's coming up tonight, and then the second part will be up on Friday. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. If you want me to do one on breakfasts, give it a thumbs up, and I'll be sure to do so. Okay, bye.